Okay, right. So in the last session, right, yes. Up to the second normalization we completed. Okay, the second normal form we completed, right? And third normal form. Third normal form also completed, guys. We completed third normal form. Up to where we completed, guys, here? Up to 3 forms or 2 forms? I think here we stopped, right? So score table. So third normal form completed. Yeah. So up to 2. So third normal form, we started, right? We started and we taken out only definition of third normal form. So transitive dependency, the definition we taken out. Okay, now. So let me start it here. So third normal form, what it was telling guys here, it should be second normal form. Your table should be second normal form. You should satisfy. And here in your table, if it is okay, any transitive dependency columns are there, then immediately I have to remove those transitive dependency columns. Okay, now? So that is what. And let me come out here, transitive dependencies here. What is the transitive dependency we said? In a table, if non-key column depends on, okay, depends on another non-key column, okay, is called as a transitive dependency. Okay. And we said A comma B, these are the 2 primary key columns, and C comma D. Okay, so these are non-primary key columns. Then C comma D is a non-primary key. In this, D depends on C, but not A and B. Then it is called a transitive dependency, we said. And here, one example, what we discussed here, score table. In score table, okay, so we have some columns like student ID, subject ID, marks, examination name, and total marks. Okay, so total marks, okay, and examination name and marks. These are the non-primary key columns. And subject ID, student ID, these are composite primary key. It means that these both are primary key columns. Okay, now we can check it. So what we said here, suppose this primary key column is marks is non-primary key, but this is depending on both. So marks column is depending on student ID and subject ID. So that means that this is non-primary key column, depends on primary key column. So I just leave it this. And come to next one is what now? Examination name. So the examination name is also depends on student and subject. So both are having, then only examination we can write. Yes or no? So the student should be required and subject should be required. Then we are writing examination name. Okay, right. So it is also depending on these 2. But whereas come to total marks, okay, so that means marks column is depending on student ID and subject ID. Examination name also depends on student ID and subject ID. Okay, now. So, but total marks is there. So this is not, total marks is not depend on student ID and subject ID. It's a depend on what now? Either marks or either examination name. As a total marks is depending either marks or else examination name. So on any one this of column, it will be dependency. So total marks, if it is depending on marks column, then marks column is also non-primary key column. Okay, na? And total marks is depending on examination name. So examination name is also non-primary key column. Okay, na? So this is what it was happening, guys. So total marks. So, but in this 2 columns, if total marks is depend on any one of the column, either total marks is depending on marks column, okay, total marks is depending on examination name column. Any one of the column, if it is depends, then it is called a transitive dependency we call. then it is depends. Transitive dependency we call it. Okay, na? But total, now let me check out. So total marks is exactly depends on marks, or total marks is exactly depends on examination name. Okay, that we have to check out. Now tell me guys here, total marks is depending on marks column or examination name column. In this, any one of them. So that is what? Anybody guessing? Total marks is depending on marks column or total marks is depending on your examination name. On which column out of these two columns, on which column it was depend? Any guessing guys? So carefully think and tell me. So total marks, on which column it depends? Marks or examination name? What is your guessing guys? Now you observe total marks is depending on, okay, not a marks. Okay, total marks is depending on a examination name. So not a marks, depends on examination name. Okay, so why sir? How it is means? Why I'm saying your total marks is depending on examination name means, for example, for example, let you see. Suppose there are few branches are there. Okay, for example, in BTech, CSC branch, okay, CSC branch, and suppose mechanical branch was there. Mechanical branch was there. So CSC branch people or these students are having few subjects like subject 1, subject number 2, subject number 3, subject number 4, and subject number 5. Okay, now, like your mechanical student is also having some semester-wise subject. So he was having subject 1, he was having subject number 2, subject number 3, and subject number 4. So these are the two branches people. So one student is belongs to CSC, one student is belongs to mechanical student. So in this two branches, they have a different subjects. Okay. So when come to CSC branch student, for example, so subject 1 purpose, he was writing 2 examination names. That means 2 examinations he was writing. One is a theory exam. One is a theory exam. Okay. So one is a practical exam. So that means subject 1 is having theory plus practical. So here total marks is 100 marks. The total marks is 100 marks. And the second subject is having only theory exam. So this was taking here 75 marks. Third subject having, okay, again theory. Okay, again it was having theory exam plus practical. Theory exam plus practical. So this is again 100. So that means what you understand guys here, again subject number 4, for example, subject number 4 is having, okay, subject number 4 is having here, okay, again it was having only practical exam is there. So the practical exam here, okay, 50 marks. And next subject number 5, okay, they are having here, okay, again theory plus practical is there. So this is, okay, 100 marks. So now tell me guys here. So the based on the qualification or say branches wise, they have a subjects And in these subjects, some subjects are having theory plus practical. Some subjects are having only theory. Some subjects are having only practical. So whenever the subject wise, your examination names are, okay, some subjects are having 2 examinations, some subjects are having 1 examination. So based on this examination name, your total marks will be changed. Yes or no? So here, suppose a practical examination, okay, 75 marks here, for example, practical, sorry, theory, and practical is 25 marks. So total marks, how much here? 100 marks here. So that means including theory examination name plus practical examination, the both combination, subject 1 total marks is 100 marks. Okay, but remaining all subjects are not like this. Remaining all subjects are not like this. So few subjects are having practical and theory, few subjects are only theory, and few subjects are only having practical. Okay, so this kind of scenario we can see in our examinations. Okay, now, so when the examination name wise, are you writing practical examination or theory examination? So based on that examination name wise, your total marks will be changed. Okay, your total marks will be changed. So here I'm writing subject 1 purpose, I'm writing 2 examinations. That's why my total marks is 100. In second subject, I'm writing only theory examination. That's why my total marks is 75. So year 100, okay, year 75. Changing now. Again, subject number 3, again theory plus practical, again it was having 100. But subject number 4 having practical is again 50. So that means what you understand, guys, here, the based on your examination name, based on your examination name wise, based on your examination name wise, so your total marks will be, see, this is your examination name. Based on your examination name wise, some subject total marks is 100, some subject total marks is 75, some subject total marks is 50. So it's a depend, that means your total marks of a subject is depending on your examination name. Understand my point now? The total marks of a subject is depending on your examination name. Suppose subject 1, total marks is 100. But how this 100 will come to you? Including theory examination plus including practical examination. So theory plus practical examinations combination, your subject 1 total marks is 100 marks. Understanding now? So that means your total marks will be depends on your examination name wise. Okay. Here same mechanical students are there. So mechanical students are having only theory. Only theory. Okay. Suppose they don't have a practical. Suppose all are having theory. Then what happened, guys, here? Their total marks will be different. Okay, now their total marks will be different. So your mechanical student, subject wise, these are all are having theory means their total marks will be different. And the CSC branch people are having both examinations. That's why their total marks will be different. So that means here the point is what now? Examination names wise, your total marks will be different. Okay, now total marks will be different. For example, one more example, if you see, in Telugu state, that means in Andhra and Telangana, in this state, can you tell me, guys, here, if any Telugu person is there, tell me. Now we have a 10th class, right? 10th class student is having total subjects or how many subjects? Generally, 6 subjects he have it in 10th class. But tell me, guys, here, this is subject, okay, 6 subject, but he was writing how many examinations he was writing, guys, here? Any idea? How many exams he was writing? Come on, guys. The Telugu people, they know. Okay, the 10th class student having 6 subjects in Telugu states, but he was writing how many examinations? Yes. How many examination means? I have a 6 subjects. I have a 6 subjects, but a 10th class student, I have a 6 subjects, but the 10th class student is writing 11 exams. 10th class student is writing, okay, 11 exams. So, but having 6 subjects only. But he was writing 11 examinations, he was writing. How it is means, every subject is having some 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Yes or no? So some subjects are having 2 examinations, paper 1 examination, paper 2 examination. Understand now? So like this, they will be writing almost 11 examinations they are writing. So almost they are writing 11 examinations. Okay, but they have only 6 subjects. Okay, now, so that's why what I'm telling here, your total marks of a particular subject is going to be depends on examination names wise or examination names wise, the total marks will be changed. Okay, for example, like you see here, one small explanation here I was given. In this explanation, you can see. So with examination name and total marks added to our score table, that's fine. It's a more data now. Okay, fine. And the primary key for our score table is composite primary key, which means, okay, it's made up of 2 attributes or columns. One is a student ID plus subject ID. These are the primary key columns. So, okay, fine. These 2 are the primary key columns. Okay, right. So our new column examination name depends on both the student and subject. Of course, this examination name column, of course, it was depending on student ID and subject ID. That's okay, fine. For example, let you see, a mechanical engineering student will have a workshop exam, but a computer science students won't. Okay, so mechanical student is having workshop examination, but computer science student is not having that. And for some subjects, you have a practical exams, and for some subjects, you don't have a practical exams. So that we can say that examination name is a dependent on both the student ID and subject ID. Okay, this is examination name column I'm telling. But whereas come to the column total marks depends on examination name, as with exam type. So I said na, with exam type means either theory exam or practical exam. As exam type, the total score will be changed. So that I said, for example, practical are less marks while theory exams are having more marks. So that means examination wise, your total marks will be changed. So practical exam, total marks is something. Theory exams, total marks is something. Yes or no? It's a depending on your examination name. Okay. So that means finally what you say, examination name is just another column in the score table. It is a not primary key. Examination name is a not primary key, and total marks is depending on it. So your total marks is also non-primary key, examination name also non-primary key, and total marks is depending on examination name. So that means a non-primary key column depends on another non-primary key column. Then it is called as a transitive dependency. Then this is called as what now? Transitive dependency. Okay. So transitive dependency means what I said, when a non-primary key column depends on another non-primary key column rather than depending on primary key attributes, then it is called as a transitive dependency. Okay, now? Right. So finally, in my table, we have a transitive dependency columns are there. So total marks is one of the column. It was depending on examination name. So now how to remove that? How to remove that means, yes, I have to take like this. So in my score table, I'm keeping as it is student ID, subject ID, and marks. And here, additionally, one new column I'm adding that is called the examination ID. So examination ID is called a foreign key constraint. And second table, we have to create an exam table. In exam table, examination ID, examination name, and total marks. Okay, now. So now these are the examination ID. One, examination name is workshop. Total marks is 200. Examination number 2, and it's a mains. Mains are having 70 marks. And third, practical is having 30 marks. So Now what happened? Examination name and total marks, these two are separated from my score table and kept into another new table. That table is called as exam table. So in exam table, I kept, and along with this, one new ID was created, that is called an examination ID was created, and this is a primary key. Okay, so now what happened? If it is a primary key means, now this entire table is having fully dependency. This entire table is having fully dependency, and there is no transitive dependency in this. Okay, now in the same pattern, when you come to this table, okay, this table is also student ID, subject ID, and marks. And marks column is depending on student ID and subject ID means this is also having fully dependency. And this examination ID is going to be telling us making relationship with your examination table. Okay, now? So this is, so when you finding the transitive dependency columns in your table, then those columns will be separate and keep into another new table. So separately, you have to keep into another new table. So then it will be splitting again here also, decomposing your tables, and that is also successfully we're decomposing, and we are going to be maintain two tables and making of relationship primary key and foreign. Okay, so this is transitive dependency columns how to remove. So that means when you find out transitive dependency column, only the thing is what, no, those columns are removed from your table and kept into another new table, and that new table and your old table should make it a primary key foreign key relation. So then your problem will be solved. Okay, right. This is transitive. And the next one is the next law or next form, okay, is called as a Boyce code normal form. So Boyce code normal form, this is my next one. Okay, right. So in this, what it was happened, you can see. The Boyce code normal form, what it was telling, when your table to be satisfied, Boyce code normal form, it should satisfy the following two conditions. One is your table in B or your table should be in third normal form. So that means there is no transitive dependency columns. And later, second condition is what now? For any dependency A to B, for any dependency A to B, suppose A depends on B, then A should be super key here. Okay, suppose A depends on B, then A should be super key. Okay, now then A should be super key. Okay, fine. So now let me check out, guys. What is this? Means, for example, let me see the college enrollment table is there. In the college enrollment table, student ID, subject, and professor name I was taken. So there are student ID, subject, professor ID. Here, student ID and subject on these two columns, I was applied composite primary key. I was applied here composite primary key. Okay, now. So composite primary key I was applied. So student ID, subject. These two are composite primary keys. And professor is called a non-primary key column. So professor is a non-primary key column. But here what it was saying here in this table, what is our condition here? If A depends on B, then A should be super key here. Okay. So that means here, tell me guys here, professor depends on what? Student or subject now? Tell me guys, first tell me. Professor depends on student or subject now? Definitely. So student, professor is depending on subject. So professor depends on subject. For example, subject is a B, professor is a A. So A depends on B, then A should be super key, I said. So your professor is A, this professor depends on subject B, but A is a, which type here? A should be what I'm saying here, super key. But A is a super key or not? Okay, so A is a super key or not? So A depends on B. B is a subject, A is a professor. So professor A depends on subject B. Then what rule is telling? If A, professor, is depending on B, subject, then professor should be super key. Then professor should be super key. But here professor is super key or not? If you want to know, then we have to know about what is super key. Okay, na? So my professor is a super key or not? If I want to know, then you have to go for what is super key definition if you want to understand first of all. So when you understand super key definition, then you can understand that your professor is a super key or not. Okay. So what is super key means? Let you come out. Now, a super key definition I was given. The focus on super key, first of all. So super key is nothing but what it was telling guys here. A column means a single column or a single column or combination of columns. A single column or combination of columns which are uniquely identifying a row in a table is called a super key. Okay, na? Super key is nothing but what now? A column, that means single column or combination of columns. So a column or combination of column, okay, values are uniquely identifying a row in a table, then it is called as a super key column. Then it is called as a super key column. Okay. For example, let you come out and see. Student table is there, guys. In student table, we have some columns: student ID, student name, branch, mail ID, and registration number. So total number of columns, how many guys here? Total number of columns, how many guys? Come on. Total 5 columns are there. Okay, 5 columns are there. So now carefully observe each and every column one by one we will check. First come to student ID column. Student ID column is having some values 101, 102, 103, 104. So now tell me guys, your student ID column is having unique numbers. That means student ID column values are uniquely identifying your rows. Yes or no? Student ID column values are identifying each row with a unique number. Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on. Yes. So that means, can I say student ID column is a super key column as per the definition of super key? Can I say guys, student ID column is a super key column? Yes or no guys, I'm waiting for your reply. Student ID column is a super key column or not? Yes. So as per the definition of super key, your student ID column values, you can see 101, first row, uniquely identified. 102, second row, uniquely identified. 103, third row, uniquely identified. 104, fourth row, uniquely identified. So that means each row is uniquely identified with the unique numbers. Unique numbers means what now? Different numbers, no duplicates. Unique means what now? Different numbers, no duplicates. Understand my point now? No duplicates. Okay, right. So that means that yes, student ID is comes under one of the super key column. Okay. Now come to next column. Name is there. Tell me guys here. So name column, can I say it is a super key column? Can I say it is a super key column? No, we cannot say super key column. Why? Because in the name column, we have a duplicate value. Sai, duplicates are there. So that means I can't say this is a super key column because super key column means what now? Each and every row value should be uniquely identified. But your first row Sai and fourth row Sai duplicates are there. That's why this is not a super key. Now come to next one, branch. Branch column is a super key. Branch column is a super key column, guys. No, that is also not a super key column. Okay. Next, find out mail ID. Mail ID is a super key column. Yes, it is also super key column. Next, registration number column. Come on, guys. Registration number column. Can I say it is also super key? Yes. Now tell me in this table, how many super key columns are there? Total three super key columns are there. Okay. So this is what we called as a super keys. So super key column is nothing but to identifying each row with a unique number or with the unique values, then it is called as a super keys we call. Okay, so that means here one more very important point is, so three super key columns we find out in this table. There are three super key columns. Okay, so what are those? First one, student ID. Second one, okay, mail ID. And third one, registration number. So these are the three super key columns. But one more very important point is, any combination of super key columns, again, it is a super key. That means super key column plus super key column, okay, is equals to, again, super key. Again, super key. So that means now I can say student ID plus mail ID. Can I say it is a super key? Come on, guys. Student ID plus mail ID. Can I say super key? Yes. So I can say it. I can say it. In the same to same, that means any combination of two super key columns, any combination of two super key columns, again, it is called as a super key only. Any combination of super key columns, again, we say super key only. So these are also super key. In the same to same, even I can also say like this. Okay, super key plus super key plus super key. Again, it is also called as a super key only. Again, here also called as a super key only. So that means I can combination of student ID plus mail ID plus registration number. So this three combination is also called a super. Yes or no? Yes, we can say. So this is the way you can go to check it, your super key columns in your table. Okay, that is the meaning of super key definition. And come to next, one more definition is there. What is the next definition here? Candidate key. So candidate key is nothing but a minimal super key which is uniquely identifying a row, then it is called a candidate key. Okay, then it is called a candidate key. But your very important point is what now? But the combination of super keys, okay, or super keys are not a candidate key. The combination of super key, okay, keys are not a candidate key. Okay. So what I'm thinking, a super key which is subset of another super key is called a candidate key. A super key which is a subset of another super key is called as a candidate key, but combination of super keys are not a candidate key. Combination of super keys are not a candidate key. So it means what, sir? Simple example. So here observe guys here. The three levels I was using now. I was used how many levels here? Three levels. One is every individual column we said, or combination of columns we said. But candidate key is nothing but what I said. Super key plus super key is not a candidate key. Super key plus super key is a super key, but not a candidate key. So that means this combination of this is not a candidate key. This is also combination. This is also not a candidate key. So that means candidate key is nothing but what? No, every individual super key column is also called as a candidate key column, sir. Okay, every individual column of super key is also called as a candidate key, but a combination of super key columns are not a candidate key. Every individual super key columns are called as a candidate key. Okay, but combination of super key columns are, we can't say candidate key. Okay, now? So this is super key, candidate key definitions. Okay, now? But these are all our what means, the super key, candidate key, these are all our names. These all are, okay, what means, yeah, simply we can say guys here, these all are called as a primary keys we call. So primary key is having different names. Primary key is called as a candidate key. Okay. Primary key is called as a super key. Primary key is called as a composite primary key, etc. These are all are the same meaning of primary key. So primary key is having different names. Primary key is having different names. Okay. So primary key is also called as a candidate key. Primary key is also called as a super key. Primary key is also called as a composite primary key. Okay. But this difference is what now here observe. So when your primary key was applied on a single column, okay, then the type of primary keys are called a candidate or super. Okay, na? But when your primary key was applied on multiple columns, then we call it as a super, or else then we call it as a composite. Okay, na? So this is what, because every single column of primary key is called a super key, is called a candidate key. And when primary key we applied on your combination of columns, then it is also called a super key, because I said super key plus super key, again super key. Yes or no? So combination also super key, individual also super key, right? So that's why combination we apply, super key we call. Otherwise, composite primary key also we can call. Okay, when you apply your primary key on multiple columns. Okay, so these are what now guys here, the definitions of a super key, candidate key, primary key, composite primary key. All are same. Don't confuse here. These are all are primary key only. Okay. Now, as for this information, now come out and see. So finally, here you just tell me. In Boyle's normal form, what we said in the second condition, for any dependency A to B, then A should be super key we said. Then A should be super key we said. Okay, na? So for any dependency A to B, then A should be super key we said. Understand my point here? So that means now tell me. Now student ID, subject ID, these are the two primary key columns. That's called a composite primary keys we called. Now professor is a non-primary key column. So non-primary key column means it is a non-super key. Yes or no? Non-primary key column is nothing but it is a non-super key. Okay. But this non-super key depends on a super key. Okay, professor is a non-super key. He was depending on subject. But subject is what now? Primary key column. But as per the Boyle's code normalization technique, what it was telling, if A depends on B, A must be super key. A must be super key. So that means a professor is A. So A was depending on subject B. That means A must be super key now. Yes or no, guys? A should be super key or not? Come on, guys. A must be super key now. Yes or no? Yes, must be. But in my table, tell me, professor column is a primary key column. Professor is a primary key column in my table. No. So professor is not a super key because professor is not a primary key. But a subject is a primary key. That means subject is a super key, but professor is not a super key. Okay. Then this is not satisfied your BC enough. Now what I want to do to avoid this, then we have to separate this one. One table I have to maintain student table with student ID and professor ID. Okay. And these are two columns I maintain and professor table. Now I'm taking professor ID, professor and subject. Okay, now we can see here professor ID, professor, both are composite primary keys. That means this is also primary key. This is also primary key, but the subject is not a primary key. So now professor depends on subject. So professor depends on subject. Then professor is a primary key now. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Professor depends on subject. Then professor now it is a primary key now. Yes. So now it is satisfied your BCNF. So BCNF, what it was telling, if A depends on B column, then A should be super key column is nothing but primary key column. Then only satisfied. Otherwise, it doesn't satisfy your BCNF. Okay. So this is what we call as guys here BCNF condition or the technical solution here. And the next one is what we called as a fourth normal form. Okay. So what is fourth normal and fifth normal? For basically fourth normal and fifth normal, these two are not a mandatory of techniques. Okay, these are optional techniques we call, and people are using or not using. That's their wish here. So because it is called optional, we call it. So why, sir, it is called optional? Why, sir, it is called optional? Okay, let me see. I will explain to you. But these two fourth and fifth normal forms, guys, here. So we will check out tomorrow session. I will explain it. Okay, and if it is possible, tomorrow I will start at PLSQL. Otherwise, I started on Monday session. Okay, now. So from Monday onwards, we started PLSQL. Okay, right, guys. And today I stop it here because I'm not well. So that's why I'm stopping here. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you so much.